We have some major breaking news that has been announced and confirmed that Connor Zilisch will return this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. As I just said a second ago, we had some pretty massive major breaking news this early afternoon, as it has been announced and confirmed that Connor Zilisch will return this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here is a statement from Connor Zilisch earlier today. For immediate release, I'm back. My back is all healed up, and I'm ready for a big weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm pumped to make my second Cup Series start with Trackhouse and get back in the NASCAR Xfinity Series car with Junior Motorsports. Big thanks to everyone who helped me get back so soon. I thought there'd be a really good chance and possibly that Connor Zilisch was going to return. Of course, we did have a couple-week break for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Remember, let's go back to what happened at Talladega Superspeedway. Connor Zilisch was up front going for the win, was leading on the white flag of the race. You had Jeb Burton coming up on the inside trying to get the race lead. Going down the back straightaway, Jesse Love had a really big push from Austin Hill coming down the back straightaway. Jesse Love tried to make a move to the inside. Connor Zilisch came down a little bit. There was contact between both those guys, and Connor Zilisch spun really hard into the inside wall and had a ton of damage on the car. The win would go to Austin Hill as they threw the caution. Then he complained on the radio that his back was hurting really, really bad, and it was serious. Now, at the time, we originally thought that Connor would be good for Texas Motor Speedway, but then, of course, it was confirmed, I believe, on Thursday of that week for Texas, that he would not be running during the Texas weekend as he had planned to heal up. There was a really good chance and possibility that he was, of course, going to return this weekend, and it is officially confirmed. Connor Zilisch will be back behind the wheel of the number 88 car. Of course, he sat out of Texas Motor Speedway. We saw Kyle Larson drive the 88 car in substitution. He took over that car, and he took that car to victory lane. Justin Allgaier dominated the race, but Kyle Larson got behind the wheel and went to victory. I think it's a big deal for Connor Zilisch to be back so quickly, only missing 1 week. It seemed like the injury wasn't super serious because he's back in a couple weeks, but of course, he did have a couple weeks of rest. Of course, the Xfinity Series didn't run at Kansas Speedway, and they also didn't run at North Wilkesboro, so he had a couple weeks to heal up and rest. This is going to be a very big weekend for Connor Zilisch because he's going to be doing his own double, because not only is he going to be running the Xfinity Series in the number 88 car for Junior Motorsports as he looked to pick up his first oval win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this weekend. With the speed of the Junior Motorsports cars have shown, I think he's got a really great chance and opportunity to get that victory, but he's also going to be making his Oval Cup debut in the number 87 car for Trackhouse. Red Bull, of course, is going to sponsor that car as well. And there's a lot of anticipation on that debut of how good of a driver Connor Zilisch is. He is one of the best prospects currently at the moment. Now, the big question will be, will Connor Zilisch be up to stuff, and will he be able to perform? Because we have seen a lot of back injuries in the NASCAR Cup Series before. We think about Denny Hamlin back in 2013 when he's bound for the win at Auto Club Speedway against Joey Logano. He had suffered a massive back injury, missed a lot of weeks, and didn't really recover when he came back until the end of the season, and of course picked up the win at Homestead Miami Speedway that year. Then you think about Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman got a back injury in 2023. He was a contender for the regular season championship at that point. Then he faded back and didn't have any speed and performance and really didn't recover till the middle of last year. But then, of course, the team really started showing a lot of speed near the end of the year. So and Eric Jones as well. Let's not forget that. Eric Jones had a back injury, missed a couple weeks, and then he did return, I believe, around Charlotte, or I think Charlotte was a week he returned, if I'm not mistaken. He did struggle during that weekend and never really showed the pace and speed that he had early in the season. So the big question will be, will Connor Zilisch be able to form up to complete snuff? To be honest, I think Zilisch is, especially if Zilisch only being 19 years old or 18 years old currently at the moment, I don't think Connor Zilisch will be seriously falling back too much. I think especially with it not being, from what it sounded like, a very serious injury for him, I do think he should be fine enough and good to go. The big thing we talk about, we obviously know there's a lot of rumors about him maybe moving up to the NASCAR Cup Series next. There's a lot of talk he could be a full-time Trackhouse driver, taking over the 99 car for Daniel Suarez. I think that runs like this, and I think this is going to be such an important weekend for him, to one, to see how he's performing after the injury, but number two, how he can perform and see if he can run and be a contender. Because like I said, Connor Zilisch this year has generally shown a lot of really good pace and really strong speed. He's been one of the fastest cars in the Xfinity Series this year. He hasn't had all the results to show for because of whether it's him making mistakes, speeding on pit road, or whether it's a team making mistakes. There's been a lot of mistakes from this number 88 team so far in 2025. And I think that's something it's going to be the watch for as well. Will the pit crew be better? After a couple weeks of rest, of course, going to be running a lot of weeks straight going forward. We've got Charlotte this week. Next week, of course, we got National Super Speedway, the first time he'll be at that track. Then, of course, you have Mexico City in a couple weeks. Xfinity Series won't be running in Michigan, so that's another week he can rest his back if he does get another incident. And then, of course, you think about Mexico City. He's one of the favorites to win there. We know he's going to be one of the favorites to win all the road course races. Yes, Shane Van Gisbergen is running those weekends. But I think for Connor, it's good to see that he took his health as a safety priority and sat out at Texas. Again, I don't think it was a very serious injury, but he's already coming back at this point. But I do think for Connor, the most important thing is he is back behind the wheel of the race car, and I think that it's good to see him back behind the wheel once again. I think he will be very competitive realistically. I think he will show some good speed. I think he will have a fast enough car to be a really strong contender in these races, and I think by the end of 2025, I think it's very realistic to say that he's going to win a couple oval races. I know he hasn't won so far this year on the ovals, but again, I think with the speed he's shown on the ovals and how fast he was at other ovals this year, like Talladega, and got better at super speedways as well, I do think there's a chance he could win a super speedway race, even though the RCR duo of Austin Hill and Jesse Love have been super strong and really quick at those tracks. But I think this is a big day for Zilisch to be back behind the wheel. I think, again, I really think he'll be very strong. I think he'll be a serious contender going forward. He's one of the best prospects we've seen in NASCAR quite a few years, and I genuinely do believe that Zilisch will have a car fast enough and capable enough to be very good throughout the rest of the year. But the most important thing is, again, he took his health as a very important safety factor, took it as a priority. His doctors cautioned him to go out there. He took the doctor's steps, and he's got a lot of maturity as well, and I think being smart about your health is the most important thing. But at the same token, at the same time, it's also great to see that he's back this weekend. Again, I think he'll be very, very competitive. I think he'll be very fast. I think he'll be strong. And I do think he'll probably get a couple more wins before the end of the year. Glad to see that Zilisch is able to come back behind the wheel of the race car once again. I look for him to be fast. I look for him to be a contender with the Junior Motorsports team. He's got a very important debut with the Coke 600 as well. I think he's going to be strong in that Coke 600 in all honesty. I think he's going to get up to speed. He was really fast at Coda for the crash of Daniel Suarez. I know it's a road course, which is something he is used to, but I think he'll be very, very strong, very competitive in his Cup debut. I would not be surprised if he gets a top 25 in his debut because the Trackhouse cars, while they've been extremely quick, I think Zilisch is better than some of the drivers over at Trackhouse currently at the moment, and I think he's definitely going to get the best out of the equipment. So, nonetheless, really awesome news to see that Connor Zilisch is back this week at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series and also in the NASCAR Cup Series as well. Glad to see that he's officially returning to NASCAR competition this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looking forward to see how he can do, and we'll see if he can perform very well up to par. We'll see if the injury unfortunately affected him a little bit. We'll see how he can do this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Connor Zilisch returning this weekend at Charlotte. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How I think Connor Zilisch is going to do in his return to NASCAR this weekend at Charlotte. Let me your thoughts in the comments below. And how you think he'll do really well in his Oval Cup debut at Trackhouse. Let me your thoughts in the comments below. If any other major news breaks later today, we'll discuss it live on the channel. If not, the next time you're going to see me is tomorrow. We're going to have the intros for the Coca-Cola 600, and we're also, of course, going to have the race picks for the Indianapolis 500. Looking forward to that. Then Wednesday, we're going to have a NASCAR news video, discuss news over the course of the last couple of days. We'll talk about Connor Zilisch. We'll talk about some of the crazy IndyCar news or Joseph Newgarden and the Pete Penske controversy going around at the moment. Maybe also future North Wilkesboro. We got content coming on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott. Again, Connor Zilisch, Clay Safar, Matt DiBenedetto, Frankie Muniz, Carson Quaffle, his teammates, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Corey Heim once again, Dodge, Honda, all the good stuff. Donald Trump as well. We'll talk about all this on the channel in the coming days and weeks. We got a lot of fun content. This is going to be a very fun week, Memorial Day weekend coming up. Looking forward to the racing happening on the track really soon and some really good content you guys will be seeing very soon on the channel. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.